Ashes of Creation, the saviors of the MMORPG genre, because there are only so many World of Warcraft classics that can be re-released until we get bored. And this time they got something special for us. Alpha 2 Cyclops combat preview. So let's get into it. Is this gonna take long? Cyclops combat preview.
Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream in the world of Vera. I am joined today by three glorious developers. Actually,
Looking good.
Quite a few of our developers are participating in today's live stream. I'm not going to go through everyone. You'll see their
It has a mini map, so it's already better than New World.
usernames, their game handles on the top left side in our raid UI. But I have three amazing developers who are joining us today that have all taken part in helping to design the Cyclops and the combat that goes around it. I know you guys in the community have been very excited to kind of see today's demonstration. We're not
So it's gonna be a boss,
get
probably.
too elaborate in the designs of the Cyclops raid because we don't want to spoil it for you. But just as a disclaimer, this is one of the very first World Raid bosses that'll be available for players to participate in. So this is not super endgame, but it is going to give you some insight into how we're designing these encounters. And
Cool.
First up, we have one of our senior designers, Mr. Doug. How are you doing, Doug?
Good evening. I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited to show this off. We've been working on it for a while, and so
Yeah.
The
I'm
trees
super excited
look
for you
good.
guys showed up too. I know you guys have been hard at work on this one and a lot of other creatures. And this is your first time joining us on the stream, isn't that right?
that is correct. I have not streamed before.
Super exciting. We have a stream virgin with us. Very cool. We also have with us one of our glorious senior technical designers, Mr. Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Hey, how's it going?
And you are the this one's your baby, right? This Cyclops was kind of your design.
Yeah, been plucking away at him for a while.
I remember the first time we chatted about this guy. You had such a great kind of premise for his backstory and the design elements of it. I thought it was super cool. I love the detaching tree, which our viewers are going to see in a little bit. So I'm super excited that you have an opportunity to kind of talk with the community about this and get their take on some of these designs. And then we have one of our regularly occurring senior designers on the combat side, Mr. Trad. How you doing, Trad?
Doing great. Good to be back as always.
Yes, welcome. So we find ourselves here in the Riverlands, and it appears to be a winter time.
The Riverlands,
It's beautiful.
okay.
Actually, I really like it. So one of the first things I would love to chat with you guys about is kind of how you set up this particular raid boss, the Cyclops, in the Riverlands. Talk to me a little bit about his pathing. Like, where does he live in the world? What's his backstory? Just tell me things about him.
Yeah, I think you could take this one, Jason.
Oh, so yeah, like the Cyclops, his name is Tumok, and
Those spiders moving right there in the tree line don't look that great. I'm not gonna be real.
a long time ago, he, is from the land of Sujoma, and that's where like all the Cyclopses are from. He decided it would be a good idea to try to align himself with the ancients that invaded Vera, and he took some of his followers to follow in his footsteps, and that didn't work out so well for him. He's the last remaining
Those giant spiders do look a bit clunky.
Cyclops of his his people he took to try and join the ancients, and the rest of his people kind of exiled him for that, and they didn't want him back. So he's kind of all on his own, and has kind of paid for some of those mistakes of misaligning himself. And
Okay, so he's got a little bit of a backstory, some pain in there, maybe some betrayal, and I guess he kind of turned against his fellow citizens of Vera. Where are you guys at, by the way? I know we have a couple parties that are hanging back at the camp. Oh, there you guys are. Why don't you come join me over here? I wanna talk a little about, kind of his pathing, and I noticed that there are also some like winter spiders over here or something. What is going on over here?
Yeah, so there are some giant spiders over here, and one thing that we'd like to demonstrate today is that, not every enemy in Vera is going to just behave like your simple, aggro immediately and beeline for you. The giant spider might not necessarily want to engage these scary-looking adventurers, so he's
just like real spiders.
going to stand off and hope that you back away. And
that is so creepy. I love the anim for this. So he's kind of not necessarily aggroing, but he's just like, don't come any closer.
By the way, it looks like they move clunky, but that's kind of actually how spiders sometimes move.
Sure.
Like,
And that's definitely what they do.
Get away from me.
Yeah, he is kind of peacocking. I'm set to invulnerable because I want us to be able to kind of walk with the Cyclops as we see him start to path here. But I
wild animals just, not every single wild animal is going to immediately beeline for you. And so that's the kind of behavior we want to capture. Some more ambient behaviors you might not expect to see in an MMO. Maybe some creatures hunting each other, these kinds of
that's
more
really
believable
cool.
behaviors from wild animals.
That's super cool. Ooh, yeah, I like them. That's awesome. It adds an element of immersion, I feel like. So
But if you do stay within their range or get too close to them, then they might defend themselves. So
that's super cool. So talk to me a little bit about the Cyclops and its path and how you guys kind of determine, where this guy's going to roam and why it's an important aspect that the boss is kind of roaming through the woods, or through the world.
Oh, there he is.
yeah,
I can hit him.
We work with the world team to decide what that path is going to be, and we want to make sure that there's something of interest. In Vera, no matter where you go, no
Let
matter
yourself vulnerable just in case.
Oh, that's
I'm
a
sorry.
big
Go ahead.
boy.
You're good.
yeah, no matter where you look, no matter what path you go down, that there's always a chance you're going to see something you didn't expect or you didn't see before. So
Yo.
Oh, I love this guy. He's so massive, and I like how he kind of walks through the trees, triggering their destruction.
No, that does look good, though.
Oh, that's so cool that he interacts with the environment like that.
yeah, definitely going to help you to listen. You can just listen
Wow.
in the woods, and if he's patrolling around, you're going to hear him.
Oh my gosh, this guy's.
Don't look under the
sorry, my bad.
under the line
He's
cloth.
going to aggro me. But just so you guys are aware in the stream, I've set myself to invulnerable so that we can kind of just walk near him and see his massive nature. And
Looks
Doug,
cool.
Jason, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for this guy as a character model. Like, what were you guys, working with the character teams to kind of? I notice he has this massive tree. Talk to me.
So I'm a giant Attack on Titan fan, so there we go. That's that kind of the thought process that we had making this bad boy.
A little bit about that element.
Yeah, I think that was actually a little bit improvised in the design based on what the character came back with, Jason, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, when the character artists were making this, they had this cool idea of just having this giant tree weapon that a Cyclops would hold, and we
Makes
took that
sense.
idea and just kind of embraced it.
He also
making
has
part
a
of his
hat.
character and the embellishments that he wears, and using that to kind of inform what type of encounter that he might be. So we ended up making the tree like a pretty core part of it, and it informs some of his combat abilities, and
The leg seems a little bit spazzy, and there's not a lot of physics effects on his clothing.
phase transitions even in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a collaborative process. Sometimes it's design asking for something specific from art, and sometimes art is what informs the design, so.
Not
He
bad.
looks great. The character did a great job. with
Yeah,
this. Do you know
overall,
who's the
he does
character
look
artist that worked
great.
on this? Was it Keith? I think it might have been Keith.
That's
I
sounds
think
about right.
Keith or
Come on,
Jensen or
attack him.
somebody.
Yeah. They did a great job.
Do
by the
it.
way. I mean, it looks looks phenomenal.
For
I know
glory.
we have a couple of parties that are going to assist us with this particular fight. Talk to me a little bit about this encounter as a raid boss. What is the expectation from the actual raid size that you guys are anticipating for the design?
I think that's gonna vary depending on the level of the raid, obviously, and then sort of how geared they are. But we're kind of aiming for somewhere between 16 and 32, probably depending again on level.
That's a lot.
Very cool. So this guy's a really early kind of world boss, and we want to introduce players early to the idea of these raids. And by the way, as we're kind of chatting about this, those of you who are going to be helping us defeat this guy with our two parties, if you want to start heading over to the arena we are waiting here for you. I will set myself.
Yeah,
off
it
of the
looked
GM
like an
vulnerability
arena, didn't
here.
it?
Let's see.
Wide open circle thing.
There we go. Hopefully I don't aggro him. You know, it's important, as we were talking about, to kind of introduce players into what raiding really means in Ashes, and talk to me a little bit about kind of the general design approach that you take with creating these types of encounters. You know, there are obviously phases, there's different elements in those phases that kind of change dynamically the way you want players to interact. What are we going to see?
Do you think
here?
they're gonna wipe?
Yeah, this is definitely like
That would be
a
great.
more introductory raiding experience, so it's not going to be too complicated, but I think there are some really interesting mechanics regardless, and I think Jason can talk about those.
We got a plate-wearing wizard,
so
a
when I
wizard, a
first started designing
paladin.
this guy, you know, we had Trad and the other guys on the archetype team looking at, you know, forming the classes that people have been seeing over the live stream, and you know, really before those kind of come to fruition, and knowing like, you know, what the full abilities are and everything, I started the design with, you know, the core trinity in mind. So the roles are very obvious. Tanks will tank, healers will heal, and DPS will try to take down the targets that they
Makes
need
sense.
to.
Makes
and starting
sense.
from there, I try to keep that in mind, not to overcomplicate it, so that they always have that like individual trinity idea amongst the different mechanics.
Cool.
Yeah, so we got some
Blizzard.
classic staples in here. We've got, you know, ads that off tanks are going to have to peel off, and crowd control that's going to need to be applied to those ads. We've got priority targets that are going to pop up that need to be killed. We've got, you know, damage that's going to be
300,000
unavoidable, so
life.
that, you know, even with the
This
expert
guy
group
has
that can
600
dodge all
life.
of his avoidable attacks, you know, the healers are still going to have work to do to keep everyone alive.
Very cool. Very cool. Love it. You guys will notice, obviously, on the stream that there have been some updates to a little bit of the.
All of them are wearing pretty much the same gear. Look at this. Same armor, same sword, same sword. What else can we actually see the same? It seems like a lot of the same armor, huh? Interesting.
Nameplates that Colby and the UI team have implemented, as well as some of the
Same
targeting
bows.
plates as well. But who do we have as our tank today?
That would be me.
Same
Ooh,
shields.
Doug will be tanking. All right, very cool. And then we also have. I'll be playing as a mage, but I will be trying to capture some good shots of the encounter to a degree.
Okay,
Chad, what are you
nice.
playing?
I am a mage as well, just like you.
Oh, okay, very cool.
This guy has
then
only
how about you, Jason?
5
I'm
skills.
playing the cleric.
Nice. Well, Doug, I don't want to stand in the way of your greatness, so please, by all means, sir, you may commence when ready.
Okay,
All
let's
right,
go.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy, let's do this!
We got
Try
it.
not to let me die, Jason.
Yeah, no promises.
Come on, go.
He's an angry Tumok. Oh my god, that looks like it hurts!
Yeah, if you don't block that, you get smushed.
Oh, I love his animation. So, talk to me a little bit about some of these attacks. What do you got going on here, Jason and Doug?
So yeah, his first phase here, he has a lot of physical attacks, but he also employs a lot of attacks using his tree, like we see there with the roots hitting us. And right now, you can see he's
Okay, they're taking some
pulling
damage.
some fungus out of the tree and using that to heal himself. He has a tank spike attack.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look like they're taking a lot of damage here. Is it the boss weak, or maybe they're overgeared? Well, obviously they're not gonna, like, get wiped, which would be pretty cool, by the way. But it doesn't seem like there's too much damage. Even AoE damage is, like, kind of, like, minuscule.
Where he smashes the tree into the tank that Doug was blocking earlier.
The attacks are
generally does a
cool, though.
lot of,
Look
like,
at that.
AoE splash damage. That.
Okay,
melee will
so
walk.
this guy just got completely pancaked, and he lost maybe 8 HP? Did he have a shield? It didn't look like it.
Avoid not stand together.
Yeah, he's not a particularly complex raid boss, but he's a great example of sort of what we want to do with large creatures in Ashes. Having them interact with the environment, having that camera shake, that, you know, those knockdowns that make it feel like he is here and he is crushing you.
Everyone's pretty healthy on mono, so. Are they using pots?
Oh my god, he keeps just charging there. I'm just barely missing him. Now, talk to me a little bit about kind of the raid boss designs. Like, you guys are working with multiple stages. I noticed that right now he's just kind of, you know, roaming around. He has different targets on his hate list. Tell me, like, what's your general philosophy? How did you guys approach this?
Next phase?
Yeah, so I think Jason hinted this a little bit earlier, but we designed this boss pretty early on when a lot of the classes were still in their sort of nascent form. So we really just wanted to focus on the Trinity, you know, making sure that everyone has a purpose in this raid, a role, whether you're someone who's focused on CC, whether you're a tank, a healer, a DPS, you know, giving those classic mechanics to give everybody a job in the raid. Like right now, for instance, he's put this tree down, and there are going to be these healing caps that appear, and those are going to be a priority objective for DPS to take down before they grow to full size, because if they do, he's going to go over, he's going to stomp them, and he's going to get healed for a huge percentage of his health.
How much does the healing have HP, though?
So we got to take this tree out, because he's just going to keep healing.
Yeah, and you definitely got to switch over to those healing caps when they appear.
Seems simple.
That's super cool.
Probably could plug it on like the 15th
attempt as well.
Yeah, and as a player, if you destroy them, or even if he stomps on them, if you happen to be nearby when they blow up, you can get that heal as well. So if you're taking some damage from the thorns from the tree, or you got hit by one of his large, you know, stomp attacks, you know, you might have a chance to get healed up if you run over to those mushrooms.
Dude, he's clicking abilities.
Okay, we almost have this tree down. Come on,
he's
guys,
a clicker.
Focus it down. Focus major DPS on the tree. Let's try to kill this thing. It's almost done. Get it before he picks it up. Yes, everything. Release it all. Oh, well done.
Okay, what now, though? He's angry.
God, why is he so mad?
He does not like when you break his weapon.
What the heck?
That didn't do that much damage, though.
Jason, where'd you get the idea for that, for the kind of tree totem?
A lot of that came from the original design that we got from character art.
New attacks, okay.
We really enjoyed the way that it synergized with his look, so we wanted to employ the use of the tree as like a core part of his encounter.
Hmm.
We ended up using it as like a magical tree where he gets a lot of his abilities, but without that, he seems to get really mad.
You can't dodge
his
that.
Primal Cyclops giant nature comes back, as we see here.
At least he's doing damage now.
So talk to me about those kind of slams that he's doing. And also, I noticed, like, as he's running around, the trees are falling, the stone obelisks are kind of getting destroyed. Is there intent for these kind of environmental hazards to exist as well as part of the raid design?
Yeah, absolutely. For our large creatures, you know, Cyclopses, dragons, things like that, we want to make sure that the world feels dynamic and it's reacting to their big size.
Ooh,
you know,
two down.
Huge, you know, 20-meter tall beast is walking through the woods.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, currently this feels a little bit unbalanced. Most of his stuff doesn't do damage, but that just now, that kind of OTK two people just pretty fast, you know? Seems a bit sus. Well, there's a lot of time to tuning, but you know, this is questionable.
Woods and not knocking down a single tree, that just doesn't feel believable. So we want to make sure
good.
That,
it's good.
You're going to hear that, and that's going to be a way you can know in the distance there's something that you want to go and investigate.
They just got res, no problem, huh?
That is super cool. I died, but I'm on my way back.
They just came back. Okay.
Really bad.
Okay.
One of the aspects of the phases in this fight is actually that he has those healing abilities when he has his totem tree.
He just AoEs them down. These guys were on 100% health. They just literally could not survive it. So you need to use a cooldown shield or whatever. Otherwise, you're toast.
Nature magic, but and he is more primal when he's in this phase. As a result, you can take him down a little quicker when he's enraged, but it's also going to be a lot more incoming damage for your healers to work through. So, depending on your raid composition, your equipment level, you might want to sustain longer in that earlier phase, even if it takes a while through all that healing. Because if you push him too early, you might just wipe.
Looks like it. Looks possible.
Oh, I love it, guys.
Is that it? Close.
Here it goes again.
Oh no,
Wow.
no, 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 no,
Finish
no!
it.
God! Oh.
Yeah, you see, it almost just one-shots. So you need to use a potion or whatever, otherwise you're absolutely done. Huh.
I was
Interesting.
getting crushed there. It was right under his fist.
Show the loot, show the loot. The juice.
Oh, this poor guy.
Loot him.
Look at him.
If he doesn't
Little
roll need on
eye.
everything, he's not a real gamer.
Wow, that was very cool. Well done, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Does he have any loot?
Yes.
Can we loot him? I wonder.
Skin him.
Sword
Sword
of
of
the Briarholm, a
Briarholm.
longbow, a short bow, and a mace.
The loot doesn't seem that epic though.
Ooh,
That does
nice.
not
Well, that was
greed
a lot
all.
of fun. Very well done. I thought that was very cool. Guys, as you guys are watching this, remember, obviously this is one of the earliest world bosses in Ashes of Creation that you'll have an opportunity to encounter, just getting your feet wet and what the raid boss system's going to look like. We have a lot of fun designs that are intended with a lot of different creatures. But give us your feedback. What are the raid bosses you enjoyed in other games that you've played? What about the mechanics? What about the phases that you thought were cool? What did you enjoy seeing here today, and what would you like to see in the future? But otherwise, Trad, Jason, Doug, thank you guys for joining us and giving.
Yeah, and that's it. Honestly, looks decent. You know, the spiders, the way they interact, you know, seems like actual real spiders. Not that bad. Look at that. You know, the spider dancing. Admittedly, it's a bit awkward if they, you know, just do that constantly and never attack or back off. You know. Pretty good. The forest looks good. The giant looks good. You know, minor hiccups. Some things are not animated, but solid. And it's gonna get better with time because, you know, it's not gonna get released tomorrow. So this looks good. This looks fine. This looks like something you want to look out for. And well, the loot wasn't epic at all. The loot did not honestly inspire me, you know. Where is the loot? Here it is. He hovered over it, and well, there wasn't a lot of text there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the loot did not feel too much inspiring. Longbow, short bow. At least they have different choices, which is kind of cool. But yeah. Well, it still has a long way to go, but currently it looks good. And they are doing developer updates, and we have seen already a couple of skills and whatnot. And, well, it looks good. Anyway, like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'm out. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.